Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. How are you all? I think you are all well by the grace of Almighty Allah. Welcome to NIVSM School. I am Muhammad Ali Yamin Apu, an assistant teacher of mathematics, National Ideal English Version School morning shift. Dear students, I am going to take a math class today for the student of class 7. So let's start the class. Our today's topic is exercise 2.3, question number 13 and question number 14. That means two questions will be solved today. Your lecture number is 6 and you have a homework. Your homework number is also 6. So dear students, look at a glance on the question. Okay, question number 13 is Habiba and Halima. Its exercise number is 2.3. okay, question number 13 is Habiba and Halima together can do a work in 20 days. They were working together, but after 6 days Habiba, it will be Habiba, correction of your book. Okay, it will be Habiba. 6 days later Habiba went away. Halima finished the rest of the work in 21 days. How many days would Halima need to complete the whole work? We need to find out Halima. If Halima work alone, then how many days needed by Halima? Okay. So first of all, dear students, we need to find out what is the remaining work and what is the remaining days given in 21. What is the remaining work we need to find out. 6 days they together work. That's why the work can be done in 20 days, one part. My dear students, one part means the total work, the whole work. Okay, therefore in one day we are going to the unitary method. In one day they can finish how many? Is 1/20. Of course this work is done by both the two. Okay, you can write down a work can be done by Halima and Habiba. Okay, in 20 days one part, in 1 day 1/20 part, and they work for 6 days together. That's why therefore in 6 days it will be multiplied 1/20 multiplied with 6, this part. So we can cut this one by 2, it will be 3, it will be 10. That's equal to 3/10 part is done. Okay, 3/10 part is done in 6 days because they work for together. Okay, after that who left? It's Habiba left. That's why the remaining work done alone by Halima. Okay, so what is the remaining work? Therefore the remaining work, okay, the remaining work is 1 minus this one, 3/10, because this is done already. So let's subtract this done work from the whole work. This part is remaining part. Okay, it's a simple subtraction, dear students. 10 will be our denominator. It's 10 minus 3 part. That's equal to 7/10 part is remaining left. This part need to be done, and this part is done by Halima alone. Okay, Halima finished the rest of the work. That means this part of the work in how many days? In 21 days. But now we need to find out how many days Halima needs to find the total work. So we can arrange now. Halima can finish the work. Halima can finish. Now Halima can finish 7/10 part in how many days? In 21 days, because this is the remaining part, and this remaining part done by Halima alone. Halima complete this work in 21 days. So therefore one part means the whole work. Okay, one part in how many days? In 21 divide by, so division sign, 7/10 days. 7 over 20 days. This is our calculation. Easy calculation. We can write down the multiply sign in the place of division sign, and the next fraction will be a reciprocal fraction of this given fraction. The reciprocal means numerator will be denominator, denominator will be numerator. It will be 10 over 7. Now I can cut down this 7 by 7, it will be 1. This 21 also by 7, it will be 3. So 3 multiplied 10 days equal to how many days? Equal to 30 days. Equal to 30 days. This means that Halima can do the whole work in how many days? In 30 days. You can write down in words. Therefore, Halima can finish the whole work by 30 days alone, or Halima alone can finish the whole work by 30 days or in 30 days. Okay, I hope you have understood. So our answer will be 30 days. Now the next question is question number 14. Question number 14 is, look at the question, is 30 workers can build a house in 20 days. 10 days after beginning the work, it to be stopped for 6 days due to bad weather. How many extra workers will be needed to finish the work on time? That means we need to finish that work in 20 days. In totally 20 days we need to finish that work. But my dear students, 6 days were stopped the work for the bad weather. So what is the remaining days and what is the remaining work? We need to find out at first. What is the remaining days and what is the remaining work? Already, dear students, for the 10 days the 30 workers worked. Already for 10 days after beginning the work, it to be stopped for 6 days. That means that 10 days the 30 workers work. Okay, and the first information is that 30 workers can build a house in 20 days. This means that, my dear students, look, 30 workers can do a work. It is a building house of build a house. So we can write down a work. 30 workers can do a work. Okay, in 20 days. In 20 days, how many part? In 20 days, 1 part. This means the total work. This means 30 workers need 20 days to complete the building. Okay. Now we can find out the how many part of the work they have done. Okay. In 10 days. In 10 days, how many done? In 10 days, that's why we need to find out in order 1 day at first. In 1 day, how many part? 1 over 20 part. Okay. Now we can find out in 10 days how many. In 10 days, what is the portion? It 1 over 20 multiply with 10. Multiply with 10 part. That's equal to 1 over 2 part. So half part of that work will be done already by the 30 workers in 10 days. And what is the remaining work? The total work is 1. So remaining work will be 1 minus half. Therefore, the remaining work is 1 minus half part. That's equal to 2 minus 1 part. That's equal to half part. So half part is done and half part is our remaining part. This is need to be done within time. Now what is the remaining time? Dear students, 10 days they work together and 6 days were passed away for the bad weather. But we need to complete this work within 20 days. So the remaining days or remaining time, the remaining time is what? Remaining time is 20 is the total time minus 20 minus 10 plus 6, because 10 days they work and 6 days they passed away for bad weather. So these 2 days will be added and subtracted from 20. These days are the remaining days. That's equal to 20 minus 16 days. So that's equal to 4 days. So 4 days are remaining. These 4 days are remaining, and we need to complete this work within 4 days. Within the next 4 days, the half part of that work we need to be done. And the students, look, now we need to find out the number of workers. How many workers can complete the half part of that work in 4 days? Okay, so from this one we can write down, my dear students, 30 workers in 10 days complete the half part of that work. Okay, from this one, 30 workers in 10 days they can complete half part of the work, right? So we'll write down half part of the work in 10 days. Now we can write down, now in 10 days half part is done. Is done by how many workers? By 30 workers. We need to find out the workers, number of workers. That's why workers should be done on the right side. Okay, therefore in how many days? In 1 day. We need to find out in 4 days half part of that work. Okay, so I have taken this line. In 10 days half part of the work is done by 30 workers. In 1 day, half part of the work, half part is done. Half part is done by, look, my dear students, it is very important line. It's very important line to understand. In 10 days, how many workers are needed? 30 workers are needed. If we wish to complete this one in only 1 day, then the number of workers will be increased. This means that if the number of time in the number of days are decreased, then the number of workers will be increased. So that's why it will be multiplied. 30 multiplied with 10 workers. And similarly, if the number of days will be increased, then the number of workers will be decreased. Now in 4 days, now the number of days are increased, so it will be divisible. Okay, divided. Now 4 days half part is done by how many workers? By 30 multiply 10 over 4 workers. Okay, that's equal to how much? It will be, dear students, 2 2s are 4, 2 5s are 10, 2 1s are 2, 2 15s are 30. So 15 5s are 75 workers. Now, dear students, look, it's very important. 75 workers are needed in total to complete this remaining work in 4 days. That means in time. Now, what is the extra worker? 75 workers are needed in total, but already we have 30 workers are there. So what is the number of extra worker? I am writing down on the top here the number of extra worker. The number of extra worker. Extra workers is, it's 75 is the total we need it, and 30 workers are already there, so you need to subtract this one. Okay, 75 minus 30 workers, that's equal to 45 workers. This means that the work is done by 10 days. This means that 45 workers are needed to complete that work on time. The question says that 10 days they work, the 30 workers, and after that 6 days the work was suspended for the bad weather, and then we have only 4 days remaining. So how many extra workers are needed? This question says, the answer says that 45 extra workers are needed for complete the work on time. Okay, so answer will be 45 workers. I hope, dear students, you have understood my today's lecture. Okay, you have a homework also. You have homework number 6, and your homework is example number 21. You will find that one on your book, page number 38. Okay, please do your homework and mention the HW number also properly. You can submit your every HW from 9 AM to 3 PM on every Saturday, inshallah. See you again. Till then, Allah Hafiz.